think we're
First sip of coffee of the day.
Oh, nice. That's the best one.
It's the best one. You never get that one again. You know what I mean? Just that first sip. Ooh.
All the endorphins.
And you just.
Now, I would say, having known you for very long, you don't slip as much as you slurp. There you go.
Slurp?
I don't.
Glenn doesn't sip as much as you slurp.
I do tend to slurp.
You're a slurper? He's a slurper.
I admit that I am a slurper. You're right. You're totally right. And it's so hypocritical, too, because I hate mouth noises so much. And I recognize that.
But you know what? A slurp isn't half as bad as a chew. Or a gulp.
I mean, by the way, I agree.
A gulp? A gulp can be...
Oh, like a super loud gulp?
How about smacking after you eat, where you're like that sort of stuff?
Smack of satisfaction.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's not great.
Smack of satisfaction.
Yeah, I don't want to hear your satisfaction.
Yeah, I want to know how satisfied you are.
It'd be fine to hear someone like groan, like eat something, and be like, oh, that wouldn't bother you at all, right?
What about a smack of disgust?
They go. It's just
you're just like, don't shove your satisfaction in my face. I'm trying to enjoy my own meal.
Go ahead
now,
and
if you want to show
like
me,
the rest of us.
if you want to show me how upset you are with what you're eating, that's fine because I'm enjoying my food, and now I know in relation to you, I'm happier.
A smack of disgust, you know?
A smack of disgust. That's okay.
Like that doesn't bother you.
That
But
would
a
be
smack of joy is
it's
upsetting.
It's really that you don't want other people to be happy. That's what we're getting. Is that what we have happening?
Oh, I mean, you could break it down to all sorts of things. It's probably goes
I
back to-
actually did go to a hypnotherapist about this at one point, and he actually I went to a hypnotherapist and a regular therapist. The regular, it was just about all kinds of things, but the hypnotherapist specifically, I went to, to deal with the whole is there a way that because this guy it was actually Jimmy's guy. Jimmy, this guy helped Jimmy stop smoking.
That was a gulp. Did anybody we capture that?
Oh, I gulp. I have a loud throat noise.
That was a
why
gulp.
I think it bothers me.
Interesting. Now it didn't bother me. I wouldn't have thought about it except that you just
Now
talked
everyone's
about
gonna hear it
gulps.
the whole time. I'll have to cut all the
gulping. No,
We'll
I
just
say
go away
turn
from
them
the
up.
mic. When
Turn them up.
I have to think that we caught that. Sorry.
I don't know.
Sure.
Anyway,
well, you caught it.
So anyway, I went to this guy, and he had a pretty good reputation, and I was like, look, this is my situation. Can you help me with it? It really bugs me when people smack their gum, when I can hear people chewing their food, especially when they're smacking. He's like, yeah, I can help you with that. He hypnotized me. Nothing happened. I mean, as far as I could tell, I was like, he just like, you're in an elevator and I'm going to start counting down from this. And I was like, okay, this is interesting because I don't see how this would do anything. And then it's
out a bowl of cereal. He's like,
well, wait a minute. Actually,
getting really sleepy. You're so sleepy.
Okay, you're joking? But that's exactly what he did. I am not kidding you. As he was putting me under, he had a glass of water and he would go and he would be like, and we're going down we're on floor 50, 49. And you're on 48, 47.
Maybe he
Was it intentional or was it?
I think it was intentional.
And you paid him for this.
I
But
think
maybe
was doing
he
a thing.
programmed slurping into your brain, and that's why you slurp.
No,
Maybe, in
I think
fact,
I've been
something
slurping for
did
years. I think I've been slurping for a long time.
That's what he has programmed your
Me to
brain
think.
to believe.
I remember it was like a blue plastic
Was
cup.
he
I don't know why I
even
remember that.
there? Did he even exist?
Yeah. I don't know, but it was crazy, and I remember thinking like, well, this is just really fucking irritating, and I don't feel hypnotized in the slightest bit.
You were irritated.
I was irritated. Guys, I'm coming in hot today.
Oh,
Okay,
Glenn
good,
coming in hot.
And it's not about slurping and mouth noises.
Okay.
I had a crazy, crazy day. A night and day, Friday night and Saturday. The kind of thing that sent me into a rage. Because it was
You were in a rage.
I was in a rage. But then something happened at a certain point where I just surrendered to the situation. And then all sorts of life lessons crept in over the course of the time that I was going through this ordeal. Okay, so here's what happened. So earlier in the day on Friday, my key fob on my car, so I drive a Tesla. I drive a Tesla Model X. Okay, the key fob stopped working on my car. Okay, that's okay. You can use the app on your phone to drive your car. Okay, so I was like, okay, that's a good fail safe. That works. So I'm driving around. It's all good. I go to pick up my buddy Nick Wexler because we're going to a screening at the DGA of a friend's new show that he's made. So we go to the DGA. I park.
The DGA is the Directors Guild.
Yes, I'm
Theater.
sorry. Yeah, the Directors Guild of America. Yeah. And sometimes they do screenings and things like this. So we went to a screening. I park in the bottom floor of the parking garage. You can probably already see where I'm going with this. Now, in order for the app on the phone to work, you need to have internet connection on your phone and the car. The phone does not speak directly to the car. Now, I can Bluetooth music from the phone to the car, but I can't control the car through the Bluetooth. So we get down to the car and my key fob is not working and I can't connect to the internet. And I'm like, okay, there's got to be a solution to this, but this is wild. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. And I was like, maybe I just need to go get a new battery for the key fob. So I went to get a new battery. So we walk over to the Rite Aid, get a new battery for the key fob. But I was like, but there's supposed to be an indicator that says you've got low battery. So anyway, put a new battery in, still didn't work. Couldn't figure out how to get my car out of there. Was like, I guess I'll just Uber home. So I just Ubered home, left the car there, told security, I was like, I put a note on my car, please don't tow my car. I go back to DGA that morning as early as possible. The second I arrive, the whole building is taped off as if there was a bomb threat or something. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like at every step of the way throughout this whole story, every single thing that could go wrong went wrong. Nobody would tell me what was going on. Finally, I got the supervisor's attention. He got the security guard. I was able to go in. Turns out they were just doing construction on the roof. Okay, all good. Oh, sorry. I figured out a way the night before that there is a way you can get in the car without the battery on the key fob working using the chip. You can put it on a certain place in the car and the door will open. Then once you get inside, you can put it on a certain place inside and the car will start. It's like, oh, that's a good fail safe. So if your fob's not working and you don't have access to the internet, there is a way to open the car and to start it. Because I couldn't even open the car the night before. So I did the thing, car door opened. I'm like, oh, yes, okay, sweet. Put the thing where it's supposed to go to start the car, wouldn't start. Moving around, tried this for about 20 minutes, wouldn't start. I was like, this is unbelievable. So I was like, okay, fine.
Take us there, though. Take us there at that moment. when you did that, can you reenact that moment? I just want to see, I want to feel it. Because you screamed.
I screamed.
Yeah. I can imagine this moment.
Yeah.
I can imagine this moment when the key fob got to the moment and you looked and it didn't start. Can you take us there?
Was your car also the only one now in the parking lot? So
Yeah, so he's alone.
It was a Saturday. So the whole parking garage was like completely empty. Also, by the way, I can't be on the phone with Tesla troubleshooting because I don't have reception in the garage.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Do you remember what you screamed? Was it just fuck?
Yeah, that's what it
guttural,
always is.
Okay, yeah.
Just a big like fuck. Just like, and then once I got that out, I was like, okay. So then I'm trying all these different spots to try to get it to work. Can't get it to work. I'm like, this is unfucking believable. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna put the car in tow mode. I'm just gonna go call AAA and now that I know I can get in the car, I know I can put it in tow mode. So I'll go call AAA. Call AAA. They're like, what is the clearance of the parking garage? And I was like, I don't know. And I asked the security guard, he's like 6.5 feet. And he was like, oof, that's really low. We only have a few trucks that can do that. Let me see what we can do, right? So they did actually find one that was low enough that they could dispatch out and get out there. So I go down to the garage to put the car in tow mode. The car won't go in tow mode. The screen works. Everything works. I'm doing everything right. The car's in park. It says your car has to be in park. You got to have your foot on the brake for the car to go in tow mode, but it's grayed out. No matter what I do, it's grayed out. I can't.
I don't want to derail the story, but like,
no, please do.
Fucking keys, man. Like,
keys.
Yeah,
what was wrong with the key? It was a great system. You put it in the thing and you turned it, and then the car went. And like,
my wife's got a key fob, right? She operates everything with the key fob. But if all else fails, there's a little key that slides out of the fob that you can use to open the door.
There you go.
And you can pull off the start-stop button.
Sure.
And there's a key thing behind it.
I one time put the TV on my house on like an app on my phone. And then, you know, like the Wi-Fi would go off on your phone and then you couldn't control the TV and it was just a fiasco, right? And then I had the guy come to the house to be like, hey, can we get this off the phone? And I just want to go back to a remote. I can hold my hand. And the guy's like, sure. He's like, you know, if you want, I could actually put all the lights on your house on an app on your phone. And I was like, he's like, for $9 million or whatever. Yeah, I'm like, first of all, man, That would be my version of a nightmare. I love that. There's a switch on the wall. I push it down, the light goes on. I push it down, the light goes off. There's a little dimmer. That's about as fancy as I want to get with the light switch.
Yeah. You're 100% right, by the way, because I didn't do that in my house, and I wish I did.
Yeah, there's certain things that we just don't need to improve upon.
Yeah.
Light switches, keys.
Well, those are time tested. Thousands of years those have worked.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, no, sometimes analog really is better.
So, listener and creep, you don't want to be rich. You don't want to be rich. It's not that great as we can see.
That's exactly
It's better to just have your Ford Taurus with the, don't worry about what glass.
Well, no, even that, it doesn't matter. Like
it's just
the cheapest economy car they're probably making still probably doesn't have a key and a turn. Everything's like a button now.
Yeah, but most cars have a backup key in the fob or whatever. Like there's some, and their backup system is it just reads the chip. Well, what happens when the fob malfunctions? Because when I tell you everything went wrong, I mean everything went wrong. I got a new battery for the fob and it didn't work. Then I discovered it's not really the battery. There's something wrong. Like the fob's not talking to the car. So now there's literally no way for me to get my car out of there. So I'm like, I got to tow it. Car won't go in tow mode. I'm going to ruin the car.
At one point, did you I'm realizing I have my key, my fob here. At one point, were you screaming at the fob?
No, I didn't scream at the fob.
Are you sure?
Because
sure. I think I would. I think
Rob, if we were writing,
you would berate
writing
the
this
fob?
for Dennis, the rants would be really great. It would be probably insufferable.
Let's do that. Let's not even talk about it. Let's do an episode where Dennis gets a new car.
Yes.
An electric car.
Yeah.
We're doing this. Okay.
I think
this being like the totem for the car and having a relationship with this is really fun.
Do a whole
really
episode
funny.
with just me stuck in a parking garage, yelling at a key fob.
if you were
alone,
just screaming insufferable and trying to say technology but not being able to get through the word technology back to insufferable, like insufferable insufferable. Like that would be a good Dennis.
This would be something that you write because this is your specialty.
Insufferable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is what happened. I mean, technology completely and totally failed me. And then Tesla roadside failed me. And then Tesla vehicle support failed me. I was on the phone with these people from 9:30 in the morning until 6 o'clock at night.
What?
Trying to figure this out. I probably spoke to 12 people over at Tesla. Everybody from roadside would then be like, well, we can't. And then they would send me to vehicle support. Then they would send me to roadside. And I would go back and forth and back and forth.
They can just send you a guy with a charged up fob to.
Nope. That's not a thing.
Oh, man.
That's what I said. That's what I said to. Finally, by the way, I also had a very difficult time getting through to any of these people. So finally I called sales. And I was like, this motherfucker.
I hear you, but you are not getting through to me.
Right. But I was like, you know who is going to pick up the phone? Someone in sales. And I was exactly right. That's exactly what happened. Within 2 minutes, I was on the phone with somebody from sales, lacing into this guy. And I was like, you guys lost a customer today. I've been a Tesla customer for 10 years. You lost a customer today. This is fucked up. And I was like, I don't mean to berate you. I know it's not your fault, but you guys have got to fix this because this is crazy. I can't get my car out of a parking garage. And the technicians that I was speaking to on the phone, I would get through the whole explanation. They would troubleshoot with me. I'd be like, tried it. We would get to the end of the call and they'd go, well, I guess there's nothing we can do. And I'd be like, what do you mean there's nothing you can do?
Sir, you chose to park your car in a garage.
I'll say I caught you at a moment of zen though, because I spoke to you midday Saturday.
Yeah, I got to a real happy place, and I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
I got to an amazing place. I really.
He was
did.
telling me the story. He was laughing as he was telling me the story.
Wow.
And this was, by the way, probably 5 hours in. My car had been stuck there since the night before. What time did we talk around?
Midday,
maybe like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that, right? So I'd been in this building, like basically I'm friends with everybody in security. All the construction guys outside are buddies of mine.
They're all laughing at you. They're the other buds of mine.
Well, it's
this
funny.
fucking dickheads.
No. Actually, one of the guys, his name was Eddie. I remember him. He was one of the construction guys, and he had a Model 3. So he had a Tesla, and he was like, "Let me help you figure this out." By the way, this is one of the things that got me to a very zen place. Technology completely failed me. Okay, but humanity completely saved me. To a person, almost every single person that I encountered, I wasn't even asking for their help. I was just asking for their patience. I was like, I've got to get this car out. I know that it's in a tow away spot, whatever. Like, just everybody was so nice, so helpful, so kind, so accommodating. I didn't know people were still like that.
What's the resolution?
Okay, so
what
the
happened?
resolution to
As
this
far as we
story
know, the car is still there.
I abandoned it again. I went home again. Now, this car is like completely across town from where I live, right? So that's the other thing too, is I would call people from Tesla from my house and they'd be like, "Are you with the car now?" And I'd be like, "Nope." Well, it's gonna be hard to troubleshoot with you not near the car. And I'm like,
I can't wait
I'm
to
gonna
write
kill
this episode.
somebody. I gotta kill someone. It's not you because I don't know how to get to you. Someone's gonna die today if you can't help me figure this out.
So humanity is beautiful, but you also want to kind of snuff it out.
Yeah.
I'll snuff a little bit of it out.
Finally, I spoke to a woman who said, "I do know a tow truck company that has a tow truck that's low enough to get in that garage, and he can jack it up, put your wheels onto wheels, not on a flatbed. But there's this is like bar that they put under it. So your wheels are actually sitting on the bar, and now there's wheels. And that is eventually what happened at 9:30 at night. I'd been there from 9:30 in the morning, basically till 9:30 at night, with a little break in between where I went home. I didn't eat a meal the entire fucking day, by the way.
You were fasting.
I was fasting.
You may be Siddhartha. You may be the Buddha.
Yeah.
You may have just gone through a transformation.
Siddhartha
Gautama.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, it was enlightening, and yeah, eventually I did get the car towed out of there. Was able to use the app. The fob still doesn't work. I told my son yesterday, we were driving around, I was like, "Please don't let me park in a parking garage, because that is absolutely something I would do."
Oh no.
Absolutely, without a doubt, 100%. I am the type of person that would completely forget. Like the second that all was behind me, I was like, "Oh, my car, where?" I was so grateful that I could absolutely see myself going underground in a parking garage and being like, "Oh my God."
Well, that
I
should
did
be
it
an
again.
option. You know, like
Yeah.
parking in a parking garage should be an option.
I got to
for
get the
all
fob
vehicles.
fixed. I got to get the
You
fob
gotta get the
fixed.
fob fixed.
Yeah, I got to get the fob fixed. Anyway, so that's me coming in hot, but also me coming in enlightened. Me coming in with a certain feeling of surrender.
Yeah.
And
Rich guy moment of Zen.
yeah, listen, I'm just gonna go ahead and move past the fact that I'm not allowed to complain about everything, because that's what this whole thing
Of course,
is.
that's right. You live your life, and you know,
You got to be able to. You just got
You gotta
to
be able to gripe.
if you
Yeah.
can't complain about your Tesla, what can you complain about?
Well, that's the thing. Well, by the way,
We
that's
can complain about our television show, which is what
by
this
the way,
whole podcast.
Can I just, we will get back to that, but I will say that was the other moment of surrender. That was not just faith in humanity restored, but it was also realizing, this was actually the first moment that I had, was I was like, I am so fortunate as a human being, and I'm so grateful for the wonderful friends and family that I have, and the resources that I have, the fact that I get to work in a profession that I love. I'm extraordinarily fortunate, and that.
But I think that's what makes your rant or a situation where you get into, like, basically this whole story. I think what makes it fun and funny to us, or certainly to me, is that I know you have that perspective. So I know that, because otherwise you'd just be
I have that gear. That's actually
you
my
have that
main
gear, sure, but you also have the perspective, like basically what you just said. You have gratitude and understanding of like how ridiculous it might be. So
Yeah.
and if you didn't, then you'd just be like a miserable cunt. But you're not. And so
right.
So when you find yourself in cunty in a cunty mood, it's really funny.
Yeah, right. Yeah, oh, I see. You're saying, it's funny because it's not ultimately who I am.
That's not who you are.
Because you have enough awareness about
Yes.
it that
Yes.
And
that
then
is
you
true.
have the self-loathing and guilt that's associated with feeling those things.
Yeah.
Because you recognize all the things that you just
I do wish I could be calmer, even in the, like, I wish I never even had to. I would love to get to a place where I didn't even have to scream and get angry, but just immediately be able to surrender and just be like, okay, there's a fix to this, and this might take some time.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna figure it out, but there's nothing I could do. I am not in control. Life is good.
But that
You know
is
what I
what
mean?
enlightenment
funny.
is. That is that ain't funny. That ain't funny.
That shit
Ain't
is
funny.
The Buddha ain't funny.
Buddha ain't
He's jolly.
He's kind of funny.
He's fat. He's funny looking.
He's fat. He's funny.
Yeah, he's
Jolly
jolly
looking.
But nobody likes that. We need conflict and rage.
He's not doing a set up at the store on Saturday night.
Yeah.
That would be funny. I would love to see like a
Put on
like
a
a
tiny
hardcore
coat.
enlightened Buddhist set at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What would that be?
like?
What would that be? That's a good bit to try, and somebody needs to do that sketch. I'm not a sketch writer, but I'd like to see
An
that.
enlightened Buddha stand-up set.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you? How can you?
I don't know enough about Buddhism to subvert things, and like I know very little. I don't know.
Maybe like you guys know suffering, you guys know suffering, everyone suffers, right? You guys suffer. Funny thing, right? So I'm suffering the other day, and I realized, I'm saying to myself, wait a second, if I just like don't fight it, is that enlightened? And that would be like his catchphrase.
Oh, that's his catchphrase.
Yeah.
What if he's got the catchphrase of, if your Tesla won't start in a parking garage and you don't get angry, you might be a Buddhist.
Sure, he's got a Jeff Foxworthy.
He's got a Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah. How's everybody doing tonight? Just want to start with, I don't need your laughter.
I hope you do laugh because laughing will bring you joy. But if you don't, it matters not to me.
Joy and pain are equal sides of the same coin. You know what I'm talking about?
This guy knows.
This guy knows.
This guy gets it.
We're now going to take a moment out of this podcast to talk about some real shit.
Oh, ship with a P. Yeah. Of course, we're talking about ShipStation, which integrates with every online platform to manage all your shipping from one simple dashboard.
It's an absolutely invaluable tool to maximize sales and save time with minimal effort.
Remember in season 15 when Charlie and Dee are losing their minds with orders for garments and varmints? Well, think what a helping hand like ShipStation would provide for their business.
That would have been huge. Join over 130,000 companies who have grown their e-commerce business with ShipStation, 98% of which become customers for life after using it for a year. I mean, there's tons of great names in there, including one of my personal faves, Siete Foods. Have you guys had that? Because that's good ship.
So ship more and grow more with ShipStation. Go to ShipStation.com today and sign up with promo code SUNNY for a free 60-day trial.
Rob's right. Start today and get set up before the biggest shipping season of the year. That's 2 months free. Are you hearing me? 2 months for free. Visit ShipStation.com. That's ship with a P. ShipStation.com. Click the microphone at the top and type in code SUNNY.
So whether you're starting small or you're scaling up, ShipStation makes ship happen.
Yeah. Don't go to shitstation.com.
That's a whole other thing.
I've been there, and
That's a whole
it's
other thing.
you don't want to see what's on there.
Yeah.
My dudes, I was wondering, how do you feel about sitting in silence?
Not good, man.
It's uncomfortable. It's
Not
uncomfortable.
good.
I don't think anybody really truly likes sitting in silence, Rob. I don't
Sure, but do you know what else no one wants?
What's that?
To hear what the stranger next to them is listening to, because they're playing something out loud like a jabroni and aren't using earbuds.
Oh my God, no. No, that's unacceptable.
No, it is.
Okay, or what about listening to the YouTube videos your kids are listening to in the back seat?
That's the worst.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
All of this pain and frustration could be avoided if everyone would just grab themselves a pair of Raycons to listen to their favorite album or go-to podcast, which better be ours.
Dude, totally. Absolutely. Raycon's everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever. And they're half the price of the other premium audio brands. I love mine. They're awesome.
That's a good thing. So, you know what else I appreciate about them? The gel tips. You know what I mean? They're very comfortable. They're comfortable. They don't budge, so you feel like you can go on a run. That's the thing. Like, I want to be able to run around, jump up and down, hit a golf ball. I don't want my earbuds falling out. And with the Raycons on, that's not going to happen.
And depending on what you're up to, you can switch between noise isolation and awareness mode. So you have both total quiet, or you can hear the music, but you can also hear what's going on around you.
When I'm out and about, I like to keep one ear open just in case Rob Justice needs to step into a situation.
What have you been listening to on your Raycons lately?
Podcasts. I listen to books on tape. Myself. Well, they call it books on tape. There's no more tape anymore.
You guys remember music? I like music.
I like some music
a lot.
What kind of music you listen to these days?
Oh man, I've been listening to a lot of like Bernard Herrmann scores. So he like scored like Vertigo and all these Hitchcock movies, Taxi Driver, and like
That's cool.
Fun.
Oh man, that guy's
And how's that
amazing.
sound on the Raycons?
Oh, like you're in the movie.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right, creeps. Go to buyraycon.com/sunny and use the code SUNNY today to get 15% off your Raycon order.
That's code SUNNY at buyraycon.com/sunny to score 15% off.
That's right. Buy Raycon. Raycon is spelled RAYCON.com/sunny, code SUNNY. I'm not always a great storyteller, I will fully admit, because I get bogged down in the details.
Only because you didn't have a great story.
Yeah. Even when I
You
do
know,
though, even
that,
when I
that
do.
story was my Tesla was in a parking garage. I couldn't start it, and it pissed me off.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, which ultimately isn't as
Yeah,
good
yeah.
as like a French lady, you know, being
Well,
rude
that's-
to Rob, or some guy at the hamburger store.
Yeah.
Him deciding whether to get his double bats out. You
I know.
like, it's a better story.
100%. No, 100%. You're right. And I debated not even telling the story because I was like, I don't know this. But then I was like, you know what? I'll just do it. And if it's not good, we'll just cut that.
I'll tell you what is a good story. Sweet D has a heart attack.
It is.
Yes.
It is a great
That
story.
great.
is a
Great.
good story.
So we did the Who's More Healthier thing in honor of this episode,
did.
but we still have not talked about the actual episode, which I feel like I've heard multiple people say this is one that they point to when they try to get their friends into the show. Like I feel like this is one of those ones that people,
Classic.
kind of go back
Yeah.
to. It's interesting because Danny's story is so weird in this one. Like,
Danny's story is a weird, like direct, let's do One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and
Yeah.
put him in like a literal One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest
Mhm.
situation.
Even had the actor, right? That's the son of
Yes.
the
Yes.
yeah,
Chief.
Tim Sampson.
Tim Sampson.
Tim
Yeah.
Sampson.
His name.
Well, Tim Sampson was the guy in Cuckoo's Nest.
No, Will Sampson was the one in Cuckoo's Nest.
Will
and
Sampson
his
played
son.
Chief in Cuckoo's Nest, and we
Yeah.
had his son.
Yeah, we had his son Tim Sampson play the chief in
Yeah.
our episode of Sweet D Has a Heart Attack. One was an Oscar-winning film, and the other one was an episode of
Half an episode.
Emmy nominated.
an Emmy-nominated half-hour sitcom.
Well, it's a half-hour sitcom of an Emmy-nominated television show.
yeah.
Oh, for stunt coordination?
Shout
For
out to
stunt
Smart
coordination,
Ski
yeah.
Zach
Well, I mean,
in stunts.
he threw that thing through the window, and that's a stunt.
Yeah.
So,
So
and then
stunt
Danny
quickly.
like climbed the fence at the end of the thing, and he really was just kind of climbing and stuck, and we just rolled credits over it, which was really kind of fun.
it was great. Yeah, we were like, and I think we knew we might roll credits over it, so we were like, just keep going, just go as far as you can go, and we'll just keep rolling on it. And sure enough, yeah. And we
Well-
was that the song from? That song
sure
from,
sounds like it.
I think that's from Cuckoo's Nest. I think we
It
actually got it is right.
It is the yeah. Because they're playing a saw. That's a
Yeah.
saw.
Uh-huh,
It's
uh-huh.
which if people don't know, you can bend a saw like a
Right.
and take a violin bow and.
How do
it
you
makes
know that that's what that is? You can just tell by the sound.
It's just such a specific noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I
Have you
remember us looking that up at the time too.
Well, that sounds like a theremin.
Yeah, it's a weird.
Those are
noise.
also fucking cool. I'd love to have a theremin. I see people playing the theremin. I'm like, oh, I want to do
A
that.
theremin is an amazing thing where it's like an electric wave, and you just move your hand through the wave, and
Yeah.
it changes the tone of the
I
pitch
want-
of the wave.
How much is a theremin? I'm gonna get one.
Well, let's
you
get
can-
one for
you
the-
can get a
Let's get.
theremin.
Can we get a
I used to have
theremin?
a theremin.
Sure.
Can we get? Let's get a theremin and let's just
can
play
get
with it
whatever
because I
you
think
guys
people think
want.
theremins are cool.
I'll get us one.
We'll get a cool theremin.
We're
Can
gonna
we
get a
can we-
theremin.
Can we get a saw?
Let's get a saw.
Let's get a saw and a bow and
And
see
a bow.
if any of us can
Okay.
make a noise on it.
This episode has the most popular meme from our television show in it. Does it not?
Yes, I mean the
It's gotta
storyline.
be, right?
Your and my storyline in the mailroom is, and at the office and with the day bow bow
Mhm.
is so funny, so good. Also, great directing by Matt Shackman too. I remember they built those shafts for the letters to drop down.
Yeah.
And we had someone just offset dumping letters constantly. And
yeah.
it really adds the tension and the flow of it.
Was that his idea?
Oh yeah. That's
To have
Matt,
just
Matt
have-
Shackman. Yeah.
That was Shackman's
Have
idea.
it just
I
coming
didn't
down all
know
the
that.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Rob Roselle's monologue that he wrote is amazing.
Take a look at this. Jesus Christ. That right there is the mail. Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay?
A lot of people ask me if Pepe Sylvia was supposed to be Pennsylvania.
Which I don't believe it was.
I don't.
No,
In
we
fact,
should ask Roselle. I mean, we're
and
gonna
by
get
the way,
him on
it
the
also
show.
wasn't supposed to be Pepe Silvia. Do you remember that?
was it Silva or something?
It was Pepe Silva.
It
as
was
as
Pepe Silva. Yes.
And
you're
Charlie, you
right.
just kept saying Pepe Silvia, and
Yeah.
so we just.
But they
changed it.
had to change the stuff on the set.
Yeah, and I
so-
remember Charlie just going, just make it Sylvia because that's what I keep saying, and so they changed it up on the.
Oh
set.
my God, that's right. It was Pepe Silva.
It was. Yeah, but Sylvia just kind of
Yeah, it sounded
rolled
better.
off the tongue better.
But no, it's not a reference to Pennsylvania. But I like that theory. I do
So,
like that.
so it was very scripted then, that monologue. Was it?
Yeah, I mean, I
yeah.
was probably adding some flourishes, but only because of the speed at which we move. Sometimes it's hard to memorize something that big because we're just, we're shooting 12 pages a day and producing and all this stuff. So I probably was like, I don't know. I think I remember I had enough time to just really work that. So
You did.
I had it down cold.
Yeah, you had it memorized. I mean, I remember that.
You know what's really weird is that, obviously the meme of me smoking and pointing at the
Carol.
board with Pepe Sylvia and all the strings, is used all the time for someone who's
Losing
crazy.
their mind. Yeah.
But like, we didn't invent the string board thing.
No.
That had been around in tons of movies and things.
Now, do they really do that at the FBI and over at the police station? Are they doing that?
they
or is
do
No,
that
they
a TV
probably
thing? Or is
replaced
that a TV?
it. They probably replaced it with technology now, and there's probably some guy. It's like I can't get it in my
I
murder
can't get the string.
investigation.
Yeah.
What was wrong with the string? Like, we could've-
The string worked fine.
Yeah,
There are
right.
murderers
He's like,
wandering the streets now because we can't use the string.
Because I can't get the string app to work.
Get the string
get the
app.
stupid
Doesn't
string
work.
app, and
The
like,
CSI app. I've got the CSI app, and it's supposed to have
there's
all
no
the-
Wi-Fi in this parking garage, and this is where the murder took place, and I can't get
And
the
so-
string to go to the string.
Yeah. Well, somebody go to the yarn store and just get some yarn. I'm like, well, let me sort this app out because all we need is
No, this is easier. This is easier. I'm telling you, this is easier.
Do you ever
seems
feel
like
like
a
it would have
string is
been fun to have been a detective?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Like don't most people fantasize about like, oh, it'd be really fun to solve crimes. I'm sure it's
Absolutely.
not fun.
Well,
I'm sure
I've
it's
talked-
mostly like
it's grisly.
It's grisly, and
Well, yeah, but-
it's not like the detectives that I talked to. One specifically, who was the father of a friend of mine in high school. He said, "I was like, wow, it's fascinating to be a detective." He's like, "It's the husband, the ex-husband, the brother, the boyfriend."
Until
That's
it isn't,
But
and
like
then
that,
you're
but
Until it is.
those are the people
Yeah,
that
yeah.
are committing almost all of the crimes.
Yeah.
sure.
So husband,
Husband, ex-husband,
Ex-husband.
boyfriend, ex-boyfriend,
That-
sometimes brother.
I ask you, Charlie, if you think you can remember any of the speech, that classic speech, do you think you still have it memorized?
Oh
Could
my
you
God,
do
it's
some
like,
of
yeah,
it?
let's talk about the mail. You want to talk about the mail? I'm dying to talk about the mail. That's the top, but his name keeps coming up. Pepe Sylvia. Pepe Sylvia. I mean, Pepe.
I got boxes.
I got boxes full of Pepe. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That's why I marched down the office and Carol and HR. Yeah, I mean, I remember chunks of it. but Carol. There is no Carol in HR. That's a good monologue.
Yeah, it really is, man. And then culminating in the whole Barney thing is just terrific, man. Like, I don't know who that actor was that we got to play Barney, but he just had a presence and it
Yeah,
worked.
he did it
Like,
great. But then your storyline's amazing too. The whole thing where you go in to work out and then you're arguing with
yeah.
the guy. You go out to your car. The audience doesn't know what's going on. You grab something, you come back in, and you put Steve Winwood in his CD player.
Spin class. Come on, bunch of hamsters on a wheel.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride a bike hard, I'm gonna ride a bike fast, and oh yeah, I'm not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, and then when I walk out, I'm gonna put a bunch of metal onto a metal bar and lift that metal over and over like a metal jerk.
You know, I gotta be honest with you, I feel like these supplements are doing a great job on their own. You know what I mean? I got tons of energy, my heart rate's up, things
Yeah.
are going great.
Absolutely, I feel good too. Look how vascular I am. Look at how my veins
Holy
are popping.
shit.
Yeah, I look good and I feel good.
I feel good too, apart from the recent bouts of explosive diarrhea.
Oh, you've been having diarrhea.
Oh God, all over the place.
Really? Well, you know what that is? That's probably your body flushing out all the toxins.
You think so?
I do think so. Yeah. I, on the other hand, have not taken a shit in days.
Days?
Days.
That doesn't sound good.
Oh, no, it's good. My body's working at 100% efficiency. Yeah, my body is absorbing every single nutrient and it's not wasting a single thing.
That guy who plays the spin instructor nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Let's
hilarious.
was
give
great.
up. Oh yeah, I have his name too.
Oh, you do? Yeah, let's call him out. He was great.
Danso Gordon. Plays
Danso
spin,
Gordon.
He killed it.
spin
Yeah, he
instructor.
was
It's
so-
very
yeah,
funny.
I love
And then when you come back in, that's a gift for you, Bumblebee, right? That's what you say. Because
Now
he's-
that was not scripted.
That was on the day.
just on the day he was dressed like a bumblebee.
Yeah, so we were just like,
So we called it
Call
out.
him Bumblebee.
And I don't even know that Coach Dickenballs was.
Coach.
No, Coach
Dickenballs,
Dickenballs wasn't in the script
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
No, that was all
That's
Caitlin.
great.
That was
You
all
and
Caitlin.
I will say, when Dennis and Dee like team up, I love those storylines. When you guys just like get on the same page about something and
Yeah.
you're like in total agreement. It was like it's just really fun to watch.
There's a lot of good, like where the camera is aiding the joke as well. Like that's a great one where you
Because it's a oneer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a oneer. You don't know what's going to happen. The other one where we just put the mirror down and then reveal that you've got the collagen in your eye and your eyes all swollen.
It's all droopy. And
Yeah.
It's just a good like.
she does a
Technical
good
bit.
like
Yeah.
noise too.
I would
Yeah.
kill for your bowel movements.
Oh yeah, that's in that scene too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do think like my favorite storyline in the whole thing is the two of you guys. You know, I mean, it's the scene of you going into the office and Dave Bao Bao, like the whole bringing up of Dave Bao Bao, like which if you didn't grow up watching those '80s movies, it was in multiple.
It was in multiple.
It was in Ferris Bueller.
Ferris
right?
Bueller and Secret of My Success were the
And
two
Secret of
biggest
My
ones.
Success. Right.
Yeah.
Those are the two that I remember.
We made 3 movie references in this episode. 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
which yeah, right. One Flew
Cuckoo's
Over the
Nest.
Cuckoo's Nest,
Secret of My Success.
Secret of My Success, and
What's the third one?
A big one. We just talked about it.
Beautiful Mind?
Yeah, you reveal Beautiful Mind had come out around that time. And the idea that he was seeing this like person that didn't exist.
was that in the
what we
movie?
were
I don't think
referencing?
I finished that movie. I think I watched like an hour of it, and I was like, yeah, he's smart. Pretty crazy. I get it.
Yeah.
We won't talk about it too much, but also that because we're going to have Michael Naughton on as a guest. But the scene where he interviews Mac and Charlie for the job is
Okay,
incredible.
so that scene was very, very short on the page.
Yeah, when you watch it, because we've seen the outtakes of it so many times, and the outtakes are so fun. And then you see the actual scene yourself, and it's like,
it's a blip.
Fine. Yeah, and I remember it being so much longer.
There's been a few moments doing these rewatches where, either the outtakes or our cut scene were actually funnier than what is in the show.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can't even though the outtakes are funny, you can't really be in that.
You have to stop down the
scene for-
whole
yeah,
episode to do a bit that
Yeah.
really doesn't push the story forward at all. Like it doesn't progress the story in any way. It doesn't get you're not supposed to be coming out of there hot because this guy was giving you a hard time. Like nothing. It didn't. So you just had when things
The
like
whole
that.
thing is that we'll do one job for half the pay, and so that's why.
Yeah.
You don't even have to pay us.
Yeah,
And then he's like, well, legally, I have to pay
But
you. Minimum wage, that's the government salary.
Yeah,
Government salary.
I just remember being so tickled by Michael Naughton sitting behind the cameras and just watching the whole thing and just watching this guy. It's always such a pleasure when you work with somebody who you feel like just gets it, like just gets what it is that not even to say that other people who don't get it aren't funny, but people who get what I mean is like people who get what it is that we're doing. And he just got it. He just got it right away. Played it totally real. Yet everything that came out of his mouth was funny. His timing was good.
Did we ever justify so much so that we brought him back multiple times? Did we ever suggest that those are the same people?
No, I don't think
the waiter.
so.
No,
we never said no, but we did talk about it, and our justification was there's no reason why this guy couldn't have been working in this office, and then lost that job and had to go back to his waiting gig, and then we did establish that I think he was trying to be other things.
It might be amazing to have Michael Naughton back, but not as the waiter character, as the character who worked in HR or who hired us
As a different person?
As a different person,
That's
and it
fun.
turns out that they're just different people. Maybe they're twins,
Have
or maybe
him
they're
play
just different.
two characters.
Yes,
and then
And
neither of them
and
can
you-
see the similarity. They don't see it at all.
Yeah,
And you guys recognize that twin.
yeah.
You never recognize the waiter, but he's not the guy you're
That's
thinking
really
of.
funny. That's really funny. Charlie and I run into that guy, and we're like, "Oh, hey, man, you hired us at the."
That's funny.
We worked in the mailroom.
He's like, oh, right, the twofer. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
and the
that.
waiter's there, like, what?
Yeah.
And you are.
And
You have a twin?
And you would be.
That's another thing I forgot about in that episode is that we'd been fired, but we're still there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. You established it like, oh no, we were fired.
We've
like,
already been fired.
we've
I
already
mailed
been.
them halfway to Siberia. That's what you say about the pink slips. Yeah.
Also, like the continued like bad advice, like you need to calm down, have a cigarette and a cup of coffee. If you need to calm down,
Drink
like,
more coffee.
Yeah, drink more.
Settle your nerves.
I've been drinking coffee.
I also love when you are delivering the mail in that scene and you're making up those little rhymes for everybody, and you're like,
Mr. White, whose wife is not very bright.
his wife is
I
not
think you improv. I think you improv that too.
I did improv that.
Yeah, I don't think any
so
of that was in
funny.
the script either.
No.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Oh, that's you on the other end of the phone call.
Yeah,
yeah,
when you slip into the office
Johnson.
and you're in Johnson's
Johnson.
office.
So clearly you.
Yeah, yeah.
This is Johnson.
also
Yeah.
Who are you and why are you in my office?
Who's this?
This is Johnson.
Oh, I thought you were in Orlando.
I am in Orlando. I'm trying to check my voicemail.
a very funny from Rob, like hanging up of the phone very slowly.
Oh yeah. That's a very.
Were you? Did you do like a?
When we had established earlier in the episode, we were like, well, dude, I get.
How does that movie end? Yeah.
I think it was just
That was
improv.
Just, yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys, what comes to your mind when you think about the word versatility You know what I mean? Because if it's not your workout shorts, chances are you're not working out with Vuori shorts, okay?
Or lounging with Vuori. Their performance-minded apparel is perfect for running, training, swimming, and yoga. But it's also perfect for running errands or doing chores or just sitting around your house on your ass.
I'm going to read what needs to be read, but I'm super into my Vuori shorts.
Genuinely.
And if you find a pair that can give you all those things and still look great and be next level comfy, my friend, that is capital V versatility.
Vuori are the most versatile and comfortable workout clothes I've ever owned. And, whichever letters they do or do not put on their clothes, they offset 100%. This is cool. They offset 100% of their carbon and plastic footprint, which makes me very happy.
It's true. Vuori is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vuori.com/sunnypod. That's VUORI.com/sunnypod.
Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns, if it doesn't fit. Go to vuori.com/sunnypod. and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing.
Have you guys gotten your colonoscopies?
No.
Come on.
No.
You got to
messes
do
up
it.
your bowel flora.
So does colon cancer.
Yeah, colon cancer can do the same. That'll fuck with your flora.
Well, but if you've got the right flora, you can battle.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, health is such a weird, okay, so you could have the best cholesterol, not the best blood pressure or testosterone, but the best cholesterol. And then you could be I don't know, fucking bit by a fucking mosquito with malaria and die in a week. You might be the healthiest today. And then something might happen next week and you're not. That has nothing to do with your diet or your exercise. It could be environmental. It could be accidental.
Well, I was talking to a doctor who we interviewed for our documentary series, Welcome to Wrexham, and she was talking about relationships and she was talking about friendships, and she said that there have been major studies, and I'm going to choose to believe her, that suggest that the greatest indicator of a long and healthy life is not your cholesterol or your blood pressure. It is not obesity or diabetes or anything like that. It's having friends.
I think you're right. I think you're 100% right. And
the more friends you have, the longer you live.
And also I would say your diversity of friends too, because I consider everybody who helped me with that whole Tesla situation a friend. You know what I mean? They're not people that I would normally...
You guys exchange numbers?
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
These are not people that I normally interact with because they're not in the entertainment business. And most of the people that I talk to are in the entertainment business, or they go to school with my kid, or they're on my kid's soccer team. That's the extent of my life because that's all I really have room for. You know what I mean? But I think that's unfortunate. I think that's really unfortunate. I really do, because I really liked these people. Thought they were wonderful.
Your Tesla friends.
Yeah. My stranded car friends.
Well, regardless of how healthy or unhealthy I am, and we've established that I'm the least healthy of the group, although I fit into a range of healthy-ish, I'd just like to say I'm happy that I'm friends with you guys and with you, Megan, and that I like to believe I'm going to live a very long life because of it.
Fuck you. All right.
Well,
fuck him, right?
Yeah, go fuck yourself, man.
Go fuck yourself, dude.
That was real lame.
That was super fucking lame.
Testosterone shouldn't cause that. All this.
Yes.
I've been enlightened by Glenn's rich guy story.
Yeah.
Listen,
I truly am. I was joking about being a blade of grass on one of the more recent episodes, but now I truly am a blade of grass. But soon that grass will dry up and harden again, and I will break.
And grass dies too.
And grass dies quickly.
Yeah,
quickly.
It's going to happen in about 6 weeks when I ask you how much you've hung out with your new friends whose numbers you've exchanged, and you're going to say 0, and then Charlie and I are going to rip into you, and
you're absolutely going to lace into me.
Yeah.
Well,
you're going to get upset.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that. I don't know if I'm going to hang out with Renee in security over at the DGA, but I tell you what, next time I see him, next time I'm in the DGA building, I don't know if he wants a hug from me, because that might be weird.
Ask him
but
if he wants to go see Buddha at the Comedy Store.
yeah, you want to go see Siddhartha Gautama?
You're gonna have to drive, Renee, because I can't get my fucking car.
Because I made the mistake of, I did that again. Anyway, how are you, Renee? Renee was wonderful, as was David, the other security guard that was helping me out. Wonderful people. Eddie, the construction guy. I can't remember my tow truck operator. He was a real character. Can't remember his name. It's driving me crazy. I was trying to think of that this morning. I was like, damn it, what was his name? So I really liked him. But the dispatcher's name was India. Let's end on a joke. Hey, Charlie Chuckles, what you got, buddy?
The Buddha. I'm gonna give us a Buddha joke.
Yeah.
Let's end on a Buddha joke.
Anyone out here live in a temple? Anybody? Any temple dwellers?
Open Topanga.
You know, I had a guy come to my temple the other day. Said he wants to put all the lights on a Wi-Fi. I'm like, damn, like, well, there's no point in punchline because that's that would equal happiness,
punch
which is
people.
the same as sadness, and we don't punch people. I said, who needs light? I'm already enlightened.
Nice.
Boom, ching.
Very good.
I'm here all week.
I'll be here all week.
You won't be.
Actually, I won't.
I'll be here, but I'll also be at the temple.
Or
also
you
be-
can-
I can do that.
I'll be everywhere and nowhere all at once.